Imagine running an Olympic sprint for 30 minutes straight without needing to take a single breath. This is what biotechnology, nanotechnology, and the predictions of where AI is going laid out in Ray Kurzweil's books, The Singularity is Near, and now Singularity is Nearer, released June 25th, 2024, promises that we can have. Back to that example of running an Olympic sprint without needing to stop and take a single breath, the diagram and the blueprint for robotic red blood cells that eliminate the need for us to stop and take in oxygen, well, those blueprints are already here. What you'll learn in this video detailing Ray Kurzweil's books might completely blow your mind. Welcome to the future, where we explore the rabbit hole of artificial intelligence, automation, and AI, and yes, even the Singularity. So if you're not familiar with it, this is Ray Kurzweil's first book on The Singularity is Near. Now, with this brand new sequel, The Singularity is Nearer, that just came out June 25th. This book was written back in 2005, and inside Ray Kurzweil makes some quite eerie predictions about the future of technology. Ray Kurzweil has made around 147 predictions, and his claimed accuracy rate is around 86%. He has predicted that we will have AGI, artificial general intelligence, by 2029, and we will achieve the singularity by 2045. The singularity is Ray's idea of when we will be able to merge with technology, to reprogram our genes, reverse aging, become superhuman, he calls them slow brains, much faster, and correct the flaws of human biology. Genomics, proteomics, gene therapy, therapeutic cloning of rejuvenated or DNA-corrected versions of our own cells, tissues, and organs. These all play into the coming singularity, which Ray Kurzweil has predicted will happen by 2045. Much of his book from 2005, The Singularity is Near, is an eye-opening read. It's a very heavy read. It's not for the faint of heart, but I have enjoyed this book. Now, some say that Ray Kurzweil is completely off his rocker and maybe creating a cult with the Singularity University. There's some pretty strange drawings in his book. We're referencing, of course, the 2005 one, like this one from page 322, where he depicts a line of humans that believe death and taxes are the only sure thing, going off down the same path everyone else is, and then three kind of weird-looking people standing off to the side. One is holding his book, The Singularity is Near. And in Ray's teachings, one incredibly wild thought that he presents with a lot of science and data is that we can live forever. And by connecting our human brains to the clouds, integrating our human structures, cells, our own biology, DNA, with that of a supercomputer, we can in fact become the ultimate version of human evolution and embody an intelligence far beyond our own. Ray talks quite a bit about consciousness in his book, the fact that we should and can become cyborgs, and how nanobots can be used in unbelievably powerful ways, including altering our own reality. We might be able to replace the very air we breathe with nanobots, have them living in our system, in our bodies, repairing us on the fly, reversing aging, and allowing us to literally manipulate our environment and the reality around us. So this book is an absolutely wild read. I think it is one of the wildest books you can find in AI and technology as a whole. That said, for Ray Kurzweil to be one of the only living technologists on this earth that has accurately predicted technology with an over 80% accuracy rate across 3 decades is pretty astounding and not something to take lightly. That's why I've had his new book, The Singularity is Nearer, on pre-order for months now. I couldn't wait to get my hands on it when it came out. So the subtitle of his first book, The Singularity is Near, is When Humans Transcend Biology. And the subtitle of his second book, The Singularity is Nearer, is When We Merge with AI. This book reinforces the other book and validates that Ray truly believes both AGI and the singularity are not on some distant horizon, but that we are living in the fourth epoch of all 6 epochs he has described in both books, and that we are on track to hit AGI by 2030. 2029 is his exact prediction, and the singularity in the 2040s by 2045. A couple interesting things from both books. I'll share with you some highlights and some things things that I don't necessarily agree with and could potentially poke a hole into. First of all, the 6 epochs themselves are not fully accurate. These are the stages that Ray Kurzweil has outlined that detail the universe from the beginning and the evolution of human intelligence from before it was even human. First of all, he reinforces that he doesn't really know who created the universe. When he describes the first epoch, the birth of the laws of physics and chemistry, he says billions of years ago. He describes how the Big Bang brought us atoms formed from electrons, circling around a core of protons and neutrons, but there happens to be a separate force called the strong nuclear force, which keeps protons together, and he literally has it in quotes. He says, quote, "Whoever," end quote, "designed the rules of the universe, provided this additional force, otherwise all evolution would not be possible." So in the follow-up sequel, Ray reinforces that he doesn't actually know who created the universe. There are so many holes with the Big Bang Theory. I don't believe that's how our universe happened. There's no way we could have gotten to the living matter and the incredible organisms we've had today through a Big Bang. I am willing to debate you in the comments on this. Bring it on. If you think so, give me your best argument, but there's so many reasons why it's just not plausible. And instead, all evidence points to a creator, a God above the universe that created it and the order we see inside of it. That is inexplainable. Even Ray Kurzweil doesn't know who created the ultimate force living inside the rules of the universe. So that's a major hole I would poke at in the idea of both books. The 6 epochs don't describe an accurate progression of humanity and evolution. In the 4th epoch, which he says we're living in the middle of, our brains have grown and digital computation has grown as well. The 5th epoch is when Ray Kurzweil predicts that we will merge biological human cognition with the speed and power of digital technology. He believes we will augment our brains with non-biological computers, and we will add many more layers to our neocortices. The 6th epoch is when our intelligence spreads throughout the universe, turning ordinary matter into computronium, which is matter that's organized at the ultimate density of computation. And studying this is when things get really crazy, as in we might not even be breathing oxygen anymore. We might be living through a completely augmented reality brought to us by nanotechnology, biotechnology, augmentation of human biology with computers. That is a crazy rabbit hole. I will definitely have more videos coming soon on biohacking and how there are experiments happening right now all over the world to conjoin human biology with computers. But the epochs themselves, I don't think there is a 100% rate of accuracy in this description of how the universe came to be and the future of it. That said, I believe there is a ton of scientific wisdom that Ray Kurzweil holds. So a couple big things that he pointed out in this Singularity is nearer. First, he confirmed that AGI is on track by 2029, and we will have the Singularity by 2045. He's not changing his opinion on any of this. And the whole book is a welcoming, warm tone towards what he sees, which is technology catching up with every one of his predictions. In his 2005 book, The Singularity is Near, and in his book, The Age of Spiritual Machines, published in 1999, he predicted that computers would pass the Turing test by 2029. Also known as the imitation test, this was launched in the 60s by Alan Turing, and it's a communication test to see if AI can communicate exactly like a human. What's interesting is that a lot of experts believe that GPT-4o has in fact passed the Turing test, but Ray Kurzweil points out that AI will actually have to get a little dumber before it passes the Turing test. And by get a little dumber, he means that AI will need to have a self-ability to appear less intelligent, because otherwise we would all know that it's AI. If it's getting the math problem perfectly right every time, how is that human? Ray Kurzweil believes that once computers can in fact pass the Turing test, which he believes will happen by 2029 and no sooner, we will pass into the 5th Epoch, where we merge biological human cognition with the speed and power of digital technology. I think he raises a valid point that AI has not, in fact, passed the Turing test. Computers aren't there yet, and we need to see a true AGI for that to happen. The other point, Ray Kurzweil has made this in his 2005 book and reinforced it in his latest one, is that there is basically no AI winter. This goes against every headline you'll see on YouTube. I literally can't find one person saying this. But what an AI winter really is, Ray says, is a hype circle. And you see this with every technology, where it gets hyped up, blown out of proportion, and when it doesn't deliver on that hype, people stop believing in it. He said if you peel that away and you look at the actual growth of artificial intelligence, you'll see a steady growth curve and absolutely no sign of an AI winter. I thought that was an interesting observation that he reinforced in the new book. And of course, the breakthrough with AlphaFold, created by Alphabet, DeepMind, Google, all of those places. Google, of course, acquired DeepMind, and Alphabet owns Google. We have a human-guided process in AI drug delivery, and more importantly, AI can now predict the structure of human life itself, accurately detect almost any protein it's given. This will accelerate the pace of biomedical industries as a whole. In The Singularity is Near, Ray has a whole chapter 4, devoted to exploring how life is getting exponentially better. I completely agree that even though we're facing so much job loss, disruption, mental depression is high, there's rising problems of homelessness in different cities. The list can go on and on. The truth is, as a whole, we've had a rise in better profits for labor, less child labor, higher personal income per capita, and Ray has all of the stats and all of the graphs to back this up in his chapter, Life is Getting Exponentially Better. This is also in line with some of the books I love, like the book Superabundance or Peter Diamandis' book Abundance. You really can look at life through multiple lenses. You can see it through the pages of history, and with the knowledge of what we as humans used to go through, you can see that today is so much better. And Ray Kurzweil says tomorrow will be infinitely better. I believe that's true too, because life is what you make it. And with the progression of technology and so much opportunity at our fingertips, opportunity has truly never been better. It's up to us to make the most of it. I look forward to continuing to read this book. I'm deep into it right now. I've spent several hours. In fact, I was rereading The Singularity is Near before diving into The Singularity is Nearer. It's funny, I originally thought my YouTube video would just be about 2 minutes long, where I say, hey, I've deep dived into The Singularity is Nearer, and all you need to know is Ray Kurzweil believes he's spot on the money, and he's confirming it in The Singularity is Nearer. But the truth is, it is a lot of a deeper read than that. Very interesting technological viewpoints. If you've read these books, I'd love to know in the comments. Tell me your highlights, what you enjoy from Ray Kurzweil's works. I don't fully agree with the idea that he is a complete kook, but I also don't think that he is a shining perfect gold standard of technological predictions either. There are some inaccuracies to different timelines and how the universe works that are in his books. That said, there's so much gold, so much knowledge that I do still highly recommend these books. He also doesn't underplay the fact that we will have a severe economic disruption before we get to the singularity, and a place where UBI could fuel a completely new world where automation removes all the meaningless work. I too believe that it's going to take quite a bit of pain for us to get to the other side of a completely reinvented economy, because that's what's going to need to happen when you don't have capital attached to labor anymore and humans simply aren't needed at work. What will we be doing? Finding our meaning? Exploring our best selves? Living our best lives? Those are the questions to ask. The best plan of action is to be your best self right now, so that when those times do come, they amplify good that's already inside of you. Let me know in the comments what you think of Ray Kurzweil's works. As always, hit that subscribe button, smash the like button if you've liked any part of this video. I look forward to speaking with you in the comments. There are so many incredibly smart people that watch my videos. It's an honor to go down these rabbit holes with you. I'll see you down the next one.